And I'll snack on my animal cracker until people show up.
Oh my goodness, it's happening. It's happening. And it's kind of mean. Trisha is having crackers, animal crackers, and I'm sitting here with nothing. I'm just wasting away, getting thinner by the second. I know y'all are worried. Send me cookies.
I'll have
Nobody's
to send
watching.
you a package
It's okay.
of oddly shaped animal crackers.
Thank you. And especially if you put them in an envelope and they go through the rollers at the mail, they'll get all. It'll be like animal sprinkles, so it'll be even better. Yeah.
That's true. The giraffe is recognizable, but I'd have to find one. Oh, let's see, what's that? This, you might guess.
I'm hoping that's a turtle.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
That's our show game. Guess what the animal cracker actually is. For those of you just joining us, that's our game tonight.
Tisha is eating oddly shaped animal crackers, off-brand animal crackers. They really could be anything. So.
Yeah, they could.
I did get the turtle right, so I get a point for that.
Here I am picking through. Oh, you'll know this one.
Okay, what do we got? I hope that's a teddy bear. Koala bear, because that's a real thing. Teddy bears are not actual animals, Christine. Calm down. Ooh, it's going to be a good show today. I am caffeinated. I am ready for action. So
that was me yesterday until about 5:30. And then I crashed.
And I now have access to StreamYard, so I can press buttons, so I can do that. Huh? I pointed at a thing. Hello, Jeff. I'm going to unpoint now. Bye-bye. Wasn't that fun? Wasn't that exciting?
It is. Achievements, little.
I learned that all in one day. It only took so good.
Just little achievements.
The things I'm proud of today. Do you want to introduce yourself or do you want to hold off?
I could.
Okay.
So, hey, y'all. Tisha Klinkenbeer from the big state of Texas and my co-host.
Christine Hackman from the Vancouver Facial Hair Club. Using my pointy fingers today. I'm so excited. Oh, there's Jeff again. Thank you, Jeff.
You're going to keep these wing.
Chicken wing. Okay. You're going to keep these very busy today. So type away. I'm giving Tisha's got the afternoon off. I'm in charge of pointing. So
make those comments so Christine has something to do.
Because otherwise I'm just going to sit here and look pretty. And that ain't going to end well.
Oh, so not true.
I'm getting by on my good looks and I have not gotten far yet. Not yet. So. We're missing people today. Where's what's her name? Where's my Jiggly? She's did she say she has housework to do or something?
Something along those lines.
Yeah. Well, we miss you, and so it's just me and her. Me and her now. Not good with the pointing yet. Oh yeah, and Tisha's been falling apart. Tell the story.
Yes. So I was hurting last week on my neck. And so I went to the chiropractor, popped all the little bones. Well, after coming back after traveling, went to Nashville, got there at like 1 p.m. Saturday and had a 5 a.m. flight home Sunday. So virtually no sleep. Plus all the airplane rides where, you're sitting like this. So today I went again and they apparently one of my ribs had popped out of joint from my vertebrae, which I have scoliosis, so it's not unusual. At one time when I first started going to a chiropractor, I had 12 that were not in the vertebrae socket. So
how does that even happen? How do we even have 12 ribs at one time? I didn't even know that. I'm learning more stuff. Was it like all on one side and you were just sort of like elephant?
No, they were staggered. Is that the right word?
Scattered to the wind. You are fancy. You can't even get hurt like a normal person. You got to be fancy about it.
I don't do things normal. I have to do things odd. My husband will tell you that. So, all that good stuff. So let's see, Chris. Whoo, Texas. So where are you from, Chris? And I probably should know, and forgive me if I don't. So, um, Scott Turner, thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see, what did Chiggling, how many chiropractors? Usually just one.
She's not that fancy.
I'm not,
She's one doctor fancy. So.
And then Yukon says hello. Let's see. We're up to 8 people. Oh, and I forgot to share. It's very important.
Well, how do you think people are going to look at our pretty faces if you don't tell them that we're here live for their viewing pleasure?
Let's see if I can do this. Concentrate.
Okay. I'll be over here making shadow puppets. No, I don't have a light for that. That's not going to work. I can tell dad jokes, but I don't have any of those. Good Lord, you put me on the spot. I don't even have any off-brand animal crackers to show the people right now.
I'm going to have to send you a package.
I would appreciate that. I will take anything in the mail. What do we got here? Yes. Well, it does take 12 visits because she only gets one done at a time because, she's a lady. She can only handle so much. So, Temple. Where is Temple? Tell me more about this. Does that make sense to you?
Texas.
Oh,
Temple,
okay.
Texas. It's south of Waco, which is south of Dallas. But before you get to Austin, it's about halfway between Dallas and Austin.
Yeah. Yeah. You know how big my knowledge of Texas is? Like that. That. I know it's shaped like a thingy. Like a thingy. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the top border is a river, so it's a little bit of...
Oh. I did not know that.
It is. It's the Red River.
Oh. Okay. I'm going to learn that. But that's going to be my goal for next week is I'm going to get me a map of Texas and I'm going to figure out where things are. That's my little Christine dream. It could happen.
And then you're going to come visit.
Well, I was in Texas once in my life. Isn't that enough? Didn't I see it all then? Probably not. Okay.
No. Because you were at Austin, right?
That is correct.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So you saw just a very, very, very tiny bit of it.
I saw a bridge that had bats.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
That was it. That was enough.
And they're Mexican bats, if I remember correctly.
I did not see their. I didn't see any sombreros or anything, so I did not know that.
I knew you were going to say
I know, right? I'm obvious. Fort Worth. Oh, okay. Okay.
Jeff, you have. I'm not convinced on the best city, but it is pretty darn good. I like Fort Worth. It's kind of the old cowboy kind of city with the stockyards and all that. So
Danny is setting me up for failure for next week. But I'm not afraid to fail.
Louisiana, right?
Oh, so, okay.
I'm not sure about him writing a pop quiz on Texas. Just saying,
we are going to have good times.
Yes.
Cowtown, that's what we call Calgary, Alberta, which is closer to my hometown, but that's irrelevant.
You call it Calgary, Cowtown?
We do. And why? Edmonton, which is my hometown, is Edmundchuk because of all the Ukrainians.
So why is it Cowtown?
Well, Calgary is the home of the Calgary Stampede, which just ended this weekend, which is world famous, unless you've never heard of it, in which case I guess we're not famous.
Well, I've heard of it, but I can't say that I know anything about it.
Well, I don't either because that's southern Alberta. So I'm from middle Alberta, which is where all the farms, grain type farms are. And southern Alberta is more of the cattle farms. So there's a whole thing in Calgary when it's the Calgary Stampede and they do the chuck wagon races and all that sort of thing. And there's the white hat ceremony where a visitor comes and you get given the white hat. I've never
Cool.
been hatted myself, so I'm okay with that. I don't have the hair to wear hats, so I need to let this flow.
I had on a hat this weekend. I got a
Oh,
new
part
shirt and a new hat.
was that just for fun, or was that part of your competition
Part
look?
of part of I used my boots beard this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So my chops went. So I
Nice.
had to dress the part somewhat.
You didn't bring the chaps with you, did you?
No, I didn't.
So that is not
Mm-mm.
carry-on luggage.
Well, it does take up quite a bit of room and carry on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're I think they're upstairs and hanging with the rest of my costumes. But no, I didn't go all out like I did at Nationals. I went pretty simple this time. So yeah, it was a major cattle slaughter town back when. And it has the famous Billy Bobs, which if you live in Texas or visit Fort Worth, you have to go to Billy Bob's to see a concert and see all the along the walls. They have handprints of all the big artists that have played on the stage, or a lot
Oh.
of them, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty cool.
And there used to be a Billy Bob's, I don't know if it's still there, in Red Deer, Alberta. Now, Red Deer is the bathroom stop between Edmonton and Calgary. And I went to college in Red Deer. And so on the weekends, we would go to, there were two bars side by side. Esmeralda's was like where the cool arts kids went. And next door was Billy Bob's. And sometimes we'd go over to Billy Bob's where they had the sawdust floor and we learned how to two-step.
Good job.
So anyone wants to take me dancing, I know what I'm doing. Just saying.
Oh, all you gotta do is come down here.
Okay.
May I recommend next January?
What is next January?
The You Matter competition.
Let's talk about competitions.
Let's.
That was a great segue. I love that. Because we were going to talk about how we've been to a few competitions lately. We've got a few competitions coming up. And what we and y'all think makes a good competition. So where do you want to start?
Oh. Well, okay, so when you're planning a competition, because you've been much more involved with this than I have. So when you're planning a competition, what do you think is the key to saying, okay, this is the competition? What's kind of one of the, say, maybe top two things you have to decide first before you get into all of it? I have some ideas, but
yeah, like my point of view is that if you try to please people, you won't. So you have to go into anything you do in life, any event you plan, thinking, what is the party I would want to attend? And then you hope that other people will want to as well. Because if you're not invested in what you're doing, you're not going to give it 100%. Mm-hmm. So, like when last year, we went with the online competition instead of in person. And because I had been in a lot of online ones, I was really invested in that. And luckily, the club came on board and supported me and believed in that. So I thought that went really well. So this year, we've got our live competition. Did you get the date yet? October 15th. Everybody come to Canada. We're here. We'll give you things. And so the thing is, like, we talk about, is it for charity? Is it for, what's the word they use in church when it's community? What is that? Fellowship. Yes. Yeah, it's almost a type of fellowship, right? A fellowship of the beards. Sorry, New Zealand, did not steal that from you. Thought of it myself. So you want to get together, you want to raise money for charity, and you want to have a good time, right? That's my ones. Anybody else? Oh, location. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And Chicken Wing said venue and judges.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So what Okay, so I also think somewhere in there is a theme, but that may be fed off of like when you do it and where you do it. Because you see a lot of themes based on like the venue. You know
Hmm.
what the name of the venue is. For example, Beards on the Rocks is at the Rock Bar. So, and when or where could be the theme too, because you would think, okay, well, I don't know what the theme is for Casper, but to me, there's also, I think, a bacon festival, beer and bacon or something like that going on.
Okay.
So some of it could be what's going on where you're going to have the
Hmm.
competition. That could be part of it. Um, and that also could decide what like trophies you have and that kind of thing.
Hmm.
So I wondered how much that plays into it. Um, but yeah, you can't do anything unless you get a location somewhere to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and do you think about what time of year? Like, does anybody out there go by? Is there your club has a special time of year you like to celebrate, like an anniversary or something, or do you like themes like an Oktoberfest theme or a Valentine's theme or something around that you can work with, or it's just get bums in seats, do it however you can.
I think here in Texas, most people try to avoid the summer unless it's an
Mm,
indoor venue because
mm-hmm,
it's just too hot.
mm,
Um, I would think opposite would be true if it's in the north. You would try to avoid the winter. You know, to some
yeah,
extent, probably you don't want it snowing, so people have a hard time getting there, especially
right.
those of us from Texas that are not used to it snowing.
Yeah. See, and I am so far down in the corner of Canada. I'm like a 40-minute drive to the border. So we don't really have winter. We have rain. And then we have cold rain. But we're kind of like Seattle. So that is the good thing. When you come here, you can probably come by water because there'll be rain. Just float a boat.
Yeah,
Oh,
Montfest is in March.
see, nice
Um,
day for a light sweater. Yeah.
yeah, I think the first year I went to Montfest 4, I had on like a jean jacket and I was pretty
Mm-hmm.
comfy. And this year, I think I had a sweatshirt I had for like Friday night. So, but during the day, the competition itself was warm, so it was pretty nice.
Well, and when it
Um,
comes to a summer competition, is that something that people would want to travel for and make it your holiday destination? Or is it, like you're saying, avoidable because it's too darn hot? What do people think? Anybody?
I know a
Anybody
lot of
thinking?
people do make it like a trip, and like when we
Hmm.
went to Salt Lake City, we kind of made it a mini vacation.
Hmm.
We took several extra days, um, and I know a lot of people do that. Or when people drive to a competition, um, they'll stop and see different things along the way. So yeah, Chris, it's 100 here, and it looks like I think Shannon said it was going to be like the next 10 days. It was going to be 100.
Oh, yeah,
We have some pop up little showers, but nothing big.
yeah.
So how's it in Canada? You said it was cool.
Yes. Well, again, I don't do Fahrenheit. So room temperature is 22 and freezing is 0. And today it was 16. So that's cardigan weather. I saw
Yeah.
people outside in puffer coats, but we're wimps here. So,
Well,
but
I
it's
would be.
supposed to, yeah, it's supposed to get hot next week, and then I'll be bitching about that because you'll hear all the air conditioners going on in here. But yeah.
And so are air conditioners kind of a norm up there, or are they kind of rare?
Well, we had that heat dome last year that killed a bunch of people, so now they're a lot more popular.
Just a
Yeah.
little.
Hmm?
Just a little.
Just a little, just a little. We don't want to
Yeah.
die too much
Yeah.
from
It's
heat.
not really.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
and I did have a neighbor down the hall that died and they didn't find her for a couple days, but luckily it wasn't during the heat wave or we would have smelt her. It was at Easter, so we found her 3 days later.
Oh
But they
my
did,
gosh.
they did have to replace the flooring.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, still scarred from that. Okay. Back to competitions. What
Here,
else do
you want
people
animal
like?
cracker?
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, my dog just walked in with her squeak ball.
Oh my goodness.
So,
How is it still that hot right now, Jeff? That's ridiculous.
yeah. And it's
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Math. Does that make
yeah.
sense to everybody why that is not a good temperature for a summer day for the July?
Right now we would all take that.
Yeah, I
My
guess.
poor Lynn, our little Louisiana girl now. Let's see.
So we talked about venue. You want to find a
Yes.
that's important. When you're looking for a venue, what does everybody like to look for? Do you want something that is like daytime, nighttime? Do you want something that's got a stage? Do you want a bar? Do you want an outdoor venue? What sort of things? If you were competing, what would the ultimate venue look like to you?
I'm curious as to what people could say because I have this little list in
Oh,
mind.
well, let's start with your little list and see if it inspires anyone.
I would like a stage, not just ground level.
Mhm.
Plenty of chairs and tables. You want
Mhm.
people to get up there and watch the watch it, but ultimately you want somewhere to put your drink down, or you want somewhere to put. We all know we carry a backpack or a bag or something when we go to comps, and you just want somewhere you can put that in.
Mm.
Like I said, have your drink or and that kind of deal. Um, let's see, and John Abraham, yeah, plenty of seating. Um, I think people kind of like outdoor if it's not too hot or too cold. So that
Mhm.
one's um, kind of iffy. The pit stop in Texas, it is really cool. It's an outdoor venue. They've got picnic tables under like a it's kind of a patio. Then they've got a patio that's got some tables, but it's got a stage, a covered stage, and it is pretty cool. But I've been there too when it's really hot. Um, and so again, that temperature difference. Daytime, nighttime, plenty of room. Um, Backstage and prep rooms, those are
Yeah.
really important. Backstage, I found you can work with, I think, but your like dressing rooms and stuff, that's super important to everybody. The venue we were at this weekend was a really cool bathroom. They had different mirrors and they staged them different ways, but you couldn't put a beard on um,
Mm.
because the mirrors were so oddly staged. It was really cool looking
Oh.
if you're there just for the club and to go in the bathroom and see it, but prep
Mhm.
wise, it was a little challenging. Yeah, the windy part is not the guy's best friend.
Oh yeah.
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 Well,
So he's referring to Beardmont, North Texas.
okay.
Um, I think it's December 3rd. I have been out of touch with Facebook. Um, my dog is squeaking the ball if you can't hear her. But
Okay.
um, so yeah. So about that time, it should be nice. I mean, like you said, cardigan, maybe hoodie weather. So, and it's a new venue. They haven't used it. So, Carrie Lynn got a comp in September. I don't know. Have y'all announced that yet? I don't know. And John up there, um, I'm gonna pull it up for you. Food nearby are available. Yeah. because we all have to spend all the time getting ready before we go to the venue. So then
Yeah.
hours have passed, and then you're there and you're hungry. Um, to so I think it's pretty important. Um,
Well, we're talking with our venue, and they do serve. It's a kind of a pub-ish thing right now. They don't have really hot food, but they have like grilled cheese sandwiches and stuff, and hot dogs for some reason. So I am trying to convince them that in the next several months they should find a beard-friendly food to eat, because we don't want like chili dogs and stuff. And I said, and straws. There has to be straws for the drinks. So
yes.
because we have banned plastic straws in Vancouver. So
Oh, really?
yeah, I got a hoard of them. Don't tell anybody. I got a hoard of like about 5,000 plastic straws, so I'm good till I die. But and I will bring some. I will bring a purse full of straws if I have to. So look to me. I'll be the lady. But yeah,
She's gonna be your straw connection.
yeah. I'll be selling them. It's like, well,
$1.
look, I'm going to throw this in the garbage after I'm done here today, because that's the kind of asshole I am. Sorry, but I don't have children. I don't even have grandchildren. I got nothing. I can ruin the planet. Sorry. All right, let's go back to the comments. I feel bad here.
Black market straws. I like that, Karen.
Right? Okay.
So Alley Cat's gonna compete again. That'll be sweet.
Okay, who's that? I don't know these people.
Alley Cat is Jeff's wife. If you watch What Up Mob Wednesday, she's the person that says, what is she? Wayman. Y'all are gonna get me to lying. But yeah, she's the person who does their little intro video.
Fancy. We don't have an intro video. Why is that? We gotta get fancy. Look at all these people.
I asked those guys to do one, and they didn't ever do it for me. I don't have those talents.
Okay.
So yeah, Beard Mom North Texans is December 3rd.
Okay. I will hook you up. Don't you worry.
Let's see. Beard friendly food. Blended or slushied. That's true. And I would say, especially to those with the mustaches.
Yeah.
Those are, it's tough on that.
I'm just going to put this up because, yes, thank you.
Yeah, the hub says they should serve only hot dogs. He has no problem with that.
Whalers.
So, okay, let's see. What else do you have to think of?
Well, we did touch on judges, so let's talk about judges. How do people select judges? Because, well, here in the past years we've had local celebrities, so we'll probably have at least one or two of those again. But then they don't really know beard stuff. So is that a problem if you throw in some random person who's just like, that's pretty? Should they have a little more of a discerning taste? Should we be getting the barbers community, international judges, what do you look for there? Do you look for a blend of male and female judges? What's everybody thinking there? Hey, Brenda, good to see you.
Okay, go play with Daddy.
That dog has some opinions that it is trying to express through dance
we
and
sent
sound.
our daughter to get balls for her, and she comes back with squeaky balls. So
she's trying. That's good. Oh. Okay. I am not Beard Mob. I am available for judging. I will judge anyone, anytime. You can pay my ticket. I can't get places, but I do have a passport.
She's ready.
I can sleep on a couch. I don't mind. Oh, okay. Again, Summer, you did not ask me for that, but that's fine. That's fine. I know I'm not your female. You've got others. That's fine. I love you anyway.
A local celebrity. I kind of agree with John,
Yeah.
but I also think you want to kind of educate them. Again, they're not going to remember everything and all the details about this or that or whatever. But I think it's also good if you have a person who's not in the bearding community, then set them with someone who is and has experience.
Mm-hmm.
So that way they can kind of help them, being there right by their elbow. And if they have questions, I've sat next to a couple and they really were interested in what they were supposed to be judging on. So it wasn't, they had the interest. So I think partnering them, if you will. Yes, please. Yeah.
Yeah. Sobriety is good. It's good to keep your judges entertained, keep them fed and watered, but not too entertained. They're there to do a job, even if they're volunteering. And it's not really fair to people if, the first categories get you sober and the end categories, it's a free for all, especially because end categories tend to be the ones that had to work a little harder. So, if you're putting like your freestyle and that sort of things at the end, especially, my opinion.
Yeah, I think the integrity is very, very important. And like John said,
Yeah.
totally important. If there's nothing to spoil a good time than some lack of integrity with the judging.
Yeah.
And honestly, we here, and you've seen it at Great American. I mean, we have all of the, I guess I don't like to call them rules, but all the what's the other good word? Standards, maybe, for all the beards and for the different styles, what those should be. So it's not like there's no good reference for that kind of info.
I'm just going to put up Chris's comment here because I think this is an interesting point. And I do believe there's a certain amount of bearding that is any given Sunday where it's a combination of you don't know who you're up against and you don't know who's looking at you. And I do believe we all have certain preconceived notions. Actually, somebody talked to me at Utah, and they said that in one of the online competitions, they said they judged me harder and gave me a worse score in that one that they had judged because they said you put more effort into other competitions you had done. They didn't think that my beard was as good as I had done in the past. So that's a preconceived notion right there, right? And it hurt my little heart a little, but again, it's all good fun and it's charity. And at the end of the day, we're raising money and trying to create a happy community. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's the thing. I think we have standards to go by. And if we're asked to judge, part of the honor is being that judge with that information. You can go out, it's on the website, you can read it. When I was first asked to judge, I was really nervous, but that was the first place I went. Worlds has it too. So, I mean, I think it's all about integrity. Yeah, totally agree, Yukon.
Yeah.
Yep. They tend to have a lot of the categories that are what will keep the crowd there, theoretically. But,
Yeah.
For us, I mean, any of the categories will keep you there. I mean, we want to see, what you look like that day.
But mustaches sort of get treated like a throwaway. They're almost always at the beginning. And I feel a little bad for that. But I mean, you can have a beautiful mustache. Our Andrew Cole is proof of that. He's got one of the most beautiful stashes in the world. Yes, I said that. Anybody, bring your stash against him. Try it out. Yeah. If you can't be unbiased, you really shouldn't be judging. And yeah, That's true. And maybe, maybe at this point, maybe I couldn't even be a judge because I do know a lot of people, and maybe it takes new blood. I don't know if that's the answer, but then again, you want somebody who really knows what they're doing. So maybe you need a world class, uh, world class goatee to judge other world class goatees, right?
Right. Yeah.
I'm just
I
going to
just,
put this
that's
up
my,
here.
let's see. I totally
Yeah.
agree. It doesn't matter if I'm best friends with somebody. They're all up on that stage, that they put hard work into what they've been growing, how they're shaping it, how they prep for that getting up on stage. I mean, they've all put work into it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
John, I'm going to tell Andrew you said that.
But Chicken Wing, you also compete in multiple categories sometimes, I believe.
All right, I'm bringing Chris back up here because he's got opinions, and that is perfectly legitimate.
It does happen.
Yeah.
I've seen it as a judge with my co-judges, and no doubt it totally happens.
Yeah.
But to me, again, I go back to, we have sets of standards. We have the North American Competitive Beard Mustache Alliance, and we have the world's. It's pretty clear cut,
Yeah. And at the same time, it's still an art form. It's like when a figure skater does a perfect routine and the judges don't like it for whatever reason, and the whole world can sit there and say, you're prejudiced, but it happens, we move on with our lives. I know that's not a good consolation. And I say this as somebody who has had the honor of getting a lot of first places, but I have also had the disappointment of getting a lot of last places as well. So I'm more benevolent when it's like, oh, it doesn't hurt anybody until it happens to me. And then yeah, of course my nose gets out of joint. We compete because we like the sport of it, as much as the charity and the fellowship.
Yeah.
We're not doing this for no reason.
It is all about the charity.
Yeah.
I equate it to your county softball teams or your city softball teams. That can be some competitive groups of people, and they do all these things for charity. So we're not any different than that. Okay, stop. Go take it to Daddy. Tell Daddy, come get the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's in front of you that day? I mean, it really has to be. And we've always talked about how different it is too with the craft categories. So you just have to have that.
Yeah. Well, Austin was a while ago, but I did not place well there. And I walked in there thinking I was the cock of the walk, and I thought I was just gonna, and I got put in my place, and it made me work harder. And I still win some things and lose terribly at other things. So it's tough. I have an ego. I'm not gonna lie. Art is very subjective. So
yeah. So yeah, Jeff, he does styled stash and full beard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's just practical. That's just smart.
Let's see.
Well, that's true too, because some people like, colored beards, right? Beards with variegated color. Some judges think that's just the cat's meow. Other times it's more, is it about the health, the shape? What do they prioritize? And again, any given Sunday, who are you up against that day and what have they got? And some days people have bad mustaches and they have bad beards. They tried real hard and it just didn't work. And next time you'll do better.
And it's that's something too you see is you're like, okay, well, who's judging? because then that sometimes affects. Yeah, I think I have to agree with my husband, and then Summer agreed too. Um, is that I think for the most part you do have respectable ones, but it's really easy when you've got a panel of judges for one and two to totally spoil the credibility of that.
Well, so
Um,
then, if we're going to talk about that, is it useful to have the knock out the tops and bottoms for every category? Because then it would get rid of people trying to actually scuppered, you know?
yeah, I mean that's a good question. A lot of the big comps can
Oh,
do that.
see,
Um,
I just saw this one. I was not aware. It's
I
possible.
was a spectator in the back,
Hmm.
so
Yeah. Hmm.
let's see. But you know why is that, Yukon? Is it because is it because the I don't like to say quality, but the appearance of the beards, because it's may not necessarily be about quality, but um, is it I don't always place, as you well know, and I definitely don't always win. So is it just that day? In different beards, I can have a beard that didn't even place and it can actually get placed next time. So it's really who's competing and who's judging.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of different for us because the guys bring the same beard every time. It's just a matter of how groomed and how worn it is. Oh, yeah. And Jeff's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you see a difference between those who truly prep before their category and those who are just more laid back about it. Part of the learned, what you learn in competing. Um, let's be realistic. To some extent, it's a beauty pageant,
Yeah.
you know. Um, just the reality of it. It is to some extent a beauty pageant. Are you gonna put your lipstick on and fix your makeup and make sure your hair is perfect, or are you going up there with, like me, your normal everyday look? Um,
Hmm. Okay.
I don't, you know, I still,
Well, I mean, with a small comp, you're going to get less competition. Um, so for sure,
and you're
a,
likely to get less experienced judges too.
yeah. And I mean, Chris, you obviously have a very beautiful facial hair action going on there, sir. But when you are in the room with a bunch of other people, there's a lot of other things to look at. So I think it's really difficult for any judges to narrow it down to 1, 2, and 3. Like when I said I wanted to be a judge, I lied. Don't, don't, don't put that pressure on me. I don't need haters. I need chocolate or animals crackers. Where's my animal crackers?
Oh, oh, let's see.
Yeah,
I can find
yeah.
one
What do you
that's
got
right.
now? What do you got now? I want a
Oh, it's a
kangaroo.
guessing game.
What is that? I'm gonna go unicorn with its horn broke off.
Um, I think it's a pig.
So it's pork flavored.
Is there a pig?
She's just got random crackers. Yes. Well, okay. Here's another
Yes.
thing. John Abram. When the whole package, the judges have said, we're only judging the beard. We're only judging the beard. We're only judging the beard. But it does help to look okay. I think. I don't think. I think that's just natural. You know, it doesn't have to be a full costume, but you should. Okay, and here's one thing I want to point out. At a competition I was at, somebody said that they had been competing for many, many years, and they had a dark beard, and they were wearing a dark shirt. And I wanted to just step up there and slap them across the face and say, "Sir, put on a white t-shirt or something." Even a ratty white t-shirt would pop your beard more than your fancy black shirt is right now, because now I can't see what you got. So it probably
It's
got marked
about
down for that.
presentation. It's
Yeah.
I it's about presentation. How do you put yourself up there? How do you optimize what you have? It's, I did beauty pageants for some years, and that was what it's about. You're gonna wear the swimsuit that accentuates your um body style, let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Agreed, it shouldn't matter about your character, but I think it helps to be well presented and just
mhm.
groomed and show up like you meant to show up. And that also goes for dates. I had a terrible first date last week where the guy came. I just have to segue because a man came to a date after 10 hours of working hard and did not shower before the date. You think he got a first, second, or third place with me? Oh, no, sir. Oh, no, sir. He got sent. So tidy is good. Well, Chris, maybe we need to get you judging more often. Whereabouts are you? Are you near Canada? Let's talk. And
Yeah,
let's just point out, when he said sheep, he meant the cracker, and he's not
oh,
referring to us as people.
oh, this is the sheep. Okay,
The
now we
sheep. Show
know.
me the sheep. Yeah, okay. I will believe it's a sheep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was a pig, but
It's so weird.
I think to John's comment too is there are times when they are so close, you have to go back to the color.
Mm-hmm.
Is the color just um I don't even know how to explain it, but you've got to go back. You've got to go back to me to something natural about the beards
Mm-hmm.
that makes, if you've got three that are just awesome, there's big fullness, they have all that. Um, it's You've got to go to somewhere. You can't just tie them all. So I think color's a lot to do with that. And then a lot of people do believe that presentation is part of it. So if you, like I said, are you coming to the beauty pageant with your makeup on and your clothes that are a little nicer? You're wearing your short shorts.
Yes, yes, they are, Chris. I do agree with that. However, it's being in public if you're in a beard competition, and you can be tidy, you can be well groomed as a person, as a participant, and I don't think, like I said, you don't have to come in character, you don't have to be crazy, but if it's a competition and people are coming in off the street, which is totally fine, if they're not as groomed, as tidy as somebody who has put the effort into it, who came to compete, who came with their A game, then for sure it's going to be a factor. Well, Chris, I guess we're never going to meet unless I come down and visit. I might.
Let's see.
Oh, gotta go back to this one. No, not that one. I'm working the fingers. I'm doing the best I
She
can.
is.
Here we
Christine
go.
is doing the comments tonight. So
I'm doing the comments. It's very difficult. Yes. Yeah, because harsh colors also will sort of change the perception. Also, if you have a kind of a scanty beard, you don't want too much of a contrast, then I would go with like a gray or a tan perhaps, because you don't want people to be able to see just how thin it is. So that's the little
right.
trick of the trade. I'm just going to put this in here. I don't know what he's responding to, but I assume it's me. Thank you. Thank you. Good for you, Danny. Yeah.
Ultimately, I think that's really the first reasons we're there, but I think we're human.
Mm-hmm.
There was a really big discussion on this, like maybe 2 years ago, right before COVID, I think, about are we just competitive? But I think ultimately, you asked me why I go to a beard competition. It's the charity and my beard family. And second, of I'm going to a competition. You
Well,
know,
see, now I think that it's useful when you have like first, second, and third. That's fine. But if you've got 10 people, I know people like to see where they placed.
hmm
Um, but I don't personally always think that is useful for community or for self esteem because nobody wants to be fourth out of four, 10th out of 10th, 23rd out of 23. You know, again, any given Sunday, and you find out that you just did not meet the criteria for whatever reason, for the judges, for your look, for maybe you're in a category that you don't stand out in. Maybe you're in a 4 to 8 inch and your 4 inches is not getting all the glory that 8 inches is.
yeah,
Unfortunate, but it just wasn't your day for whatever reason. So I don't think it helps to find out because I think, again, with Austin, 5 years ago, and I still remember exactly where out of 17 I placed. And I remember exactly how far apart I was from Miss Natalie, who beat me by 0.1. Oh, so. Oh, sorry. I got an Amazon delivery I got to deal with. Hang on, folks. Okay.
Amazon's at the door.
There we go. They are. They never stop. Okay.
But too, if you like to compete and you really want to be a competitor, learn. Learn what the standards are. Learn. Ask. I did this, at Worlds. I was asking the judges, okay, what could I have done better? What do you think was wrong? Ask the
Yeah.
judges. Ask experienced competitors. Learn how to present yourself. That's why.
Well, in some ways it is, Chris, because how do you really judge a beard? I mean, it's just a bunch of hair on somebody's face, right? So you can't say that there is a perfect beard. You can say that there is lovely color, there is health, there is grooming, but it's not like it's qualitative versus quantitative. You can't measure it. You can measure length. That's it. So
You can measure that spacing on a goatee.
yeah,
You can measure the spacing on chops. You can measure the length of the beard. Those are the standards that we're talking about that are the ones to be followed. And while I don't completely agree with Chris, I do agree that we should be following those standards when we judge.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't go rogue and start throwing in other things. Like I can't go in there and go, I only like redheads. So every redhead is getting a 10 today because that's what I think. That ain't right either. So, although redheads hit me up, just saying. Anyway, where was I?
But take a shower.
Oh, I was right there. Hello, Monty. Speaking of redheads.
So, yeah. And, well, it is. Beauty pageants are competitions.
Yeah. Yeah.
We all, this was controversial too, and still is beauty pageants.
Yeah.
They may add the intelligence questions, but they're still all about what you look like or what they present. It's all about how do you present yourself.
Okay. Now, this I did not know because I do not have a beard. So I do not follow as closely with the men's, but I did not realize.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
It
is that
does
strategic
happen.
or is that cheating, right? Like if somebody shaves off their mustache to go into whaler, is that if that's not the fashion you usually wear? This has been discussed before, or if you suddenly go down to a goatee from a full beard because there's nobody in that category.
And that's a really good point because there becomes the fine line of integrity as a competitor.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well,
I've also seen people shave competition wise. Elo did this, and I can't remember which order it was, but he shaved into 3 different categories within the same competition.
mm-hmm.
And somebody will probably tell me what those were, but I do remember him doing that. He shaved, started
Mhm.
with whatever category. I don't know if he was full beard or whatever, but he shaved so he competed in 3 different categories.
Mhm.
Um, but I don't believe it was a strategic part for him. So again,
Yeah.
what's the intent? What's the integrity to
Yeah.
that?
When we had
Um,
our online competition, Brad Anderson did the same thing where he kept shaving down. And I do believe that it was from a good place in his heart.
mhm.
He didn't place in anything, but he tried. He gave money to the charity 3 different ways,
Yeah.
and it was very sweet. So, but okay, but if it's a competition and you're being strategic, then you know, I don't know if that's a question so much of integrity or strategy and how badly you want to win and what it means to you. And um, yeah, as much as I am a competitive person, if there's somebody who wants it and can taste the blood, I will walk back because I don't need to get involved in drama. I don't need to get, don't punch me in the kneecap or anything. I just take it, right?
Yeah.
So, but we
Yeah.
get
And I think it's,
excited. We get
uh-huh.
excited because this is what we love.
And I mean, you put a,
Mm.
I think she's being facetious there a little bit.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I don't know, which means our audience doesn't know, which means Summer, be careful. We don't need hate mail. We love you. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he does.
Mm.
Taxi Fill has done 5. Yeah, I mean, there's some sequence. Obviously, you probably start with like full beard, um,
Mm.
but
Well, I mean, in Whiskerinas, we know that sometimes if a category doesn't have a lot of people in it, we might change what we're doing and hop over to a different category because we might want to place in something that doesn't have anybody picking up the hardware anyway. They want to give away trophies and goodies. I'll take it. And again, if you're paying your entry fee, the charity wins. It's a tough call. Go here.
yeah, he's a goat,
As
and
in
that's true.
goatee or greatest of all time.
He's,
What are you saying here, John?
don't tell him that. Don't get a big head.
Oh, okay. All right. See, this is where tone and text, we got to figure things out. Yeah. Yeah, people move categories because like I said, if the hardware is on the table, pick it up. You paid. Might as well. Ah, yeah. Well, you do have a lot of work to do there, Shannon. I mean, you look okay, but you could work harder. I still want you to do the style I did for you, which is like the half goatee, half whaler. I want you to walk around in public like that, just for a day. I want pictures.
You know, a lot of speaking of that, a lot of people when he asked them to find him in the picture actually pointed at you. So
Oh, good.
Eloy. Oh, too late. So John Abraham's head's already too big.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Oh, Brenda, definitely. Yeah.
Brenda, I would actually like to have you on the show sometime, and I hope you will accept that invitation because I have been watching your online beards, and I think you just do a beautiful job. And I think your beards are so heartfelt and lovely, and I would like to see them. I would like you to bring them on, and I want to see how you're doing them inside and out. And it has been a great pleasure to have gone up against you in online competitions because there's so much soul in what you do. And I especially love all the patriotic beards that I've seen you do. And I would like to see some of those up close. So shout out to you, Brenda. Mama Pug. Mm.
So you have your invite, Miss Brenda.
There you go. We'll
Yeah, I
get
mean, it sucks to lose. It does. It just genuinely sucks to lose. I'm not very competitive as a person. I'm totally opposite of that. But you put so much into it, whether it's your own hair or craft.
There. Feel that love, Brenda. We love what you do.
It is. There are definitely competitions that I've walked away and said, I don't know if I can do this anymore. But
Yeah.
you do, because it's the challenge. To me, it's like a creative challenge more than anything.
Yeah.
So,
And on that note, should we wrap it up?
I guess we can, but you guys have to come and visit us next week. So, I'm giving away, Miss Christine is going to give us a demo of how she makes her lovely beards.
Which I would have done tonight, but we got all chatty, and this was the best conversation, and I'm so glad we had it.
This
But
is
this
the
gives us
quickest
time.
hour.
I know, right? Y'all, I appreciate everything that you said. I love that you guys have been engaging tonight. And let's get some more people for next week. Let's keep this going. Let's get this growing. Oh, because we forgot, we're going to be doing our hosts mustache challenge. So it's going to be me. It's going to be Tisha. It's going to be Summer. It's going to be Natalie. It's going to be a four-way mustache challenge. Four. That I guess that works better. So we're going to get a box made by, looks like Mr. Chicken Bread's going to make that.
Yes.
And we are going to see how four different minds think.
And it's
'Cause I think,
September 5th.
and we are working out the details, but we are going to ask that you donate, and we are going to raise money for a charity, and that charity is,
Oh, you do, because you
it's
remember.
we're Wigs for Kids. And the reason we've chosen that is it's hair, and it's wigs, and it's kids, and it's cancer and whatnot. And yeah, we think that would be a really good cause. So we're going to set up a pay structure so that you can figure out how much you need to donate to get us to do whatever stupid things you want us to do, whatever stupid things you want to include in the box. We should do that too. Yes, we're going to find a way. We want to raise a lot of money for charity. We want to raise $50,000. We'll settle for 12. I'd like $12, literally, because charity still wins. But we're going to try real hard, entertain you, raise money for charity. Yes, ma'am?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. So
Can
you
I
get
get
to
an
see us all
amen?
sweat while we try to make this mustache.
It is going to be the best ever of, yes, ma'am, it will be for charity. Good night, Jeff. We love you. Bye. Oh, you're going to be okay, Summer. It's going to be so good. We're going to be helping the children's. We're going to be sticking things on our faces. It's our favorite things to do.
Exactly. Making stuff. Making stuff. So, well, Christine, once again, just a good fun night with my Canadian friend.
Thank you, my American friend. It has been fun. It'll be even better when we get old Jiggly back here on the screen. We know you're busy cleaning stuff or whatever, but we'll get you here. And
Exactly.
thank you so
Miss
much,
our
Tisha.
co-host.
Yeah, we do. We do.
You guys be good to each other out there.
Yeah.
Just be good to each other. That's about it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next Monday night. Forgot to say, Talking Beards Network. Tomorrow night is Talking Beards. Wednesday night is What Up Mob Wednesday. Thursday night, Beard Loss. Friday night, it's Fab's Foghorn and Chicken Wing, or whoever shows up on that one. I think Sunday is still Art Assault. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me. But anyway, that's the Talking Beards Network, and we will see you guys next Monday night.